So today I will speak in English, and hopefully more people know about this phone. First of all, let's check the mic. Okay, let's see. Is the mic working? So today I was speaking English. Oh, great. I just haven't speaking English for quite a long time, so hopefully I can handle this live section. I'm just pretty busy today. I just go out and take my Mate60 Pro and my iPhone 14 Pro to have some shots, 4K shots, and ultimately I've got my Mate60 Pro to handle 2 hours and 30 minutes 4K video, and it consumes less power than the iPhone 14 Pro. Amazing. And the video quality is great. Originally, I just want to post the video here. However, the video is super large. It's about 230 something gigabytes. I can't even open the file or play the file on my computer, so nothing I can do right now. My computer is not powerful enough to handle this huge file. English live today. Please share my video to others, maybe to some groups that speak English. Hello friends from Malaysia. Okay, 44 seconds to go. I'm a bit nervous right now. Haven't speak English for a long time. And I'm really in bad luck today. So hopefully nothing bad is happening. Okay, 10 seconds left. I will speak in English today, since I have my Cantonese section last time. Okay, it's time to start. Oops. My camera just not working. My face camera is not working. Okay, just wait. Okay, working now. Hello everyone. Okay, here is my Mate60 Pro, and I know that a lot of YouTuber or media in the Western countries do not have this Mate60 Pro on the hand, and I have it. So let me share to all of you about this great stuff. Okay, first of all, I just change the UI to English first. Okay, English is available. Okay, English. Yep. English right now. So I just stick on the schedule. So how I get the phone? Okay, a lot of people in mainland China or Hong Kong can get the phone easily. Okay, at least if they willing to pay more, or if they just pay attention to all the news, so they can have the hands on the device. Okay, let's go to the looks and the design of the phone. Okay, the Mate 60 Pro is very special. As you can see, there is a huge metal middle frame here. Okay, metal frame here. The middle frame is made by metal, not by. Okay, a bit nervous. Okay, you can see the Huawei logo here. And the phone is a bit wider than other phone as well. For example, I have my P60 Pro here. Okay, P60 Pro here. When I grab the phone, the Mate 60 Pro is, okay, as you can see, P60 Pro is much better in my hand. Oh. Okay, no battery. A lot of problem today. And the Mate 60 Pro is a lot wider, so that I can hold in one hand, but my thumb just can't reach the icon. For example, I want to use with only one hand, I want to make a call, then I just can't reach the phone app. As you can see, my thumb is not long enough to reach, so it's a bit wider than the usual phone. And this is P60 Pro. I can reach the phone icon here with my hand. Okay, with only one hand, with a single hand. But the Mate 60 Pro is a lot wider. Okay, next is the camera here. The selfie camera. You can see 3 holes here, but actually there are only 2 cameras. The middle one is the sensor, the proximity sensor here. Wow. Okay, do you think the look is good? The camera just looks like a Mate 40 Pro, but instead of the Leica logo, the Mate 60 Pro have this X-Mate logo. And there are 3 cameras here, 1 tele lens and 1 ultra wide, and the last one is the main camera. And I will talk about the photo quality later. Okay, so you can see it looks gorgeous. Next, I talk about the heat dissipation of this phone. As you may know that the Huawei Mate 60 Pro using the Kirin 9000s SOC, which is a bit hotter than other SOCs or other modern SOCs. Okay, and there are a lot of stuff inside to help the heat dissipation. For example, there is a huge vapor chamber inside the screen and the middle frame, between the screen and the middle frame, and the heat of the SOC just pass through the vapor chamber and goes into the middle frame here, and the heat just display through the middle frame and the front screen. And the heat is quite massive. I can say it's massive heat, but after the huge VZ chamber and the huge metal middle frame, the heat just dissipate a lot, and when you're holding the phone, you won't feel that it's very hot. It's just a little bit warm, and yeah, I also take my cat with the IR camera so that I can show the temperature, the thermal image to you later. Okay, let's talk about the screen. The screen of the Mate60 Pro is not the best in its class, but it's acceptable. It's better than the mid-range phone, but not as good as other flagships, but I think it's good enough. The screen is about 1.5K or something, a bit more than 1080p, but it's not 2K either. 1 point something K, and it support HDR and stuff like that. I can play the YouTube video with HDR. As you can see, I'm now playing HDR video on YouTube. I can choose up to 4K HDR. And the video is smooth. The screen is bright enough. Definitely the screen is not as good as my Honor Magic. The screen of my Honor Magic 5 Pro is better than this Mate60 Pro, but it's still good enough for a flagship. Okay, next let's talk about the Google. As you may know that because of the reason everyone may load, Huawei cannot access to Google mobile services. However, you can silo it, okay? Or you can run some virtual machine like Gbox or Gspace. Then you can run Google apps on the virtual machine. But most of the time, I do not use Google, and I just use some app without Google support. For example, Facebook and IG or Messenger can run by itself without Google GMS. So the people using the Huawei phone can access such social media and a lot of apps. But some people still require the Google mobile services in order to run some special apps. For example, some app from, for example, from a restaurant or from some platform, for example, from the supermarket or for public transport, they require Google mobile services. So some people just wonder if they can run Google apps on Mate60 Pro. It just depends on your needs. Some people just say, okay, I don't need Google GMS, and some says, oh, without GMS I cannot use this phone as the daily driver. Okay, so I won't go deep into the Google installation right here because it is not appropriate, I think. Okay, next about the sound quality. As you can see, I can play YouTube video. So I play the video and let you guys listen to the sound quality. Okay, the screen is too bright here. Okay, you may aware that the sound quality is good but not the best. The highs are crisp and the bass are okay, I think okay, but not deep enough. Okay, let's talk about the interface. So this is the Chinese version of Mate60 Pro. So it's running Harmony OS 4.0. And in case there is an international version, maybe next year, I guess, they will have EMUI based on Android 12 or something like that. Okay, but right now my Mate60 Pro are running Harmony OS 4. The Harmony OS 4 is gorgeous. I can say this is the most so how to describe the feel? It's silky smooth. The system is snappy, fast, and low lag at all. My camera just can't give you the feeling of how smooth is that. Okay, my camera is running at 50 FPS or something like that, but the screen here is 120 Hz, and it's always running 120. And it's silky smooth, super slappy. The Harmony OS is great. And I have the super device, and link up to my Huawei peripherals. For example, I have my Sound X, the stereo speakers from Huawei, and it also connect to my other Huawei's phone. For example, I have my P60 Pro here. If I drag the icon, and my P60 Pro will notify me, and now I am connecting these two phones together. I can use the camera on my P60 Pro and record videos with two cameras. Okay, for example, I have my P60 Pro here. I put it here, and I can switch between these cameras. For example, I can use my front camera on the Mate60 Pro, or I can use the rear camera on my Mate60 Pro, or I can choose the cameras on the P60 Pro. For example, the rear camera, oops, is here. So I can have multi-pro cameras works together on a single camera app. I can record the stuff with multi-pro angles. So the Harmony OS is great in terms of the ecosystem. Okay, you can see my Mate X2 as well. I have my Mate X2, but not in this room, in other room. I can also connect the Mate X2. So this is the super device. Okay, next one, the satellite call. The satellite call is only work in mainland China, or you can register your service only in mainland China. You can take it to everywhere in the Asia. The satellite call works in Asia, not only in China. It works in Hong Kong. Some blogger just test and it works in Hong Kong. The satellite call works in Hong Kong. There are videos on the internet. Okay, next is the camera. Okay, the Mate60 Pro got 3 cameras. The first one, okay, I just exit this collaboration mode first. There is a ultra wide camera that is very wide, and I have several videos about this camera, and I just make a statement. Right now the camera software is not final, so that the quality is not as good as expected, but it's still good enough to compare with the last generation Mate50. Okay, the camera quality is about the same as the Mate50 right now, but I think after some software updates, the camera quality will improve. Yeah, will improve, and the speed of the image processing is a lot faster than previous generation of Huawei phones. I can say this is the fastest Huawei phone in terms of camera. You can switch to the ultra wide, switch to the main camera, and switch to the zoom cam easily and very fast. After you take the video, it takes almost no time to process. Unlike the last generation, it may take up to 1 or 2 seconds to process the photo, but right now on the Mate60 Pro, you can just click the shutter and launch the album, and the photo are ready. The processing speed is pretty fast. And the next thing is the zoom macro lens. I'm now using the zoom lens and do some macro shots. Okay, so I've got this awesome macro photos. Or I can even use my zoom macro and take a photo here. Look at the pixels and subpixels here. The zoom macro can enlarge the image by a lot, magnify the stuff so that you can see the pixels on the screen. That is crazy. I try it once more. I just put my P60 Pro here, and I have my Mate60 camera pointing to the screen, and take a photo. Look at that. That is crazy. The zoom macro is crazy on the Mate60 Pro. In the past, only the Mate50s have this zoom macro lens, but right now the standard 60 Pro version got this zoom macro lens. That is great. And in terms of the video quality, I just do a very long test today. It's about 2.5 hours. Okay, I take 2.5 hours of 4K videos today with my iPhone 14 Pro. I take a very long video today. Let me show you. Okay, some food photos. Okay, here is the video. I take this video with this Mate60 Pro. As you can see, there are 2 hours and 23 minutes of 4K videos. And the video is pretty smooth, steady, and high quality. It's 4K and it really that sharp. In some case, it's even more stable than iPhone 14 Pro. I am impressed, and I will find a way to upload this huge file to YouTube. That is 230 something gigabytes. Today I just sitting on the bus. I take the bus, but there is a traffic jam, so I take 2.5 hours to reach my destination, and I take this long video all the way. Look at that. How stable is that? Very fast, very stable, and very smooth. And I have the video on my iPhone as well. This is the iPhone video. The iPhone video is not as stable as the Mate60. Okay, next. About the Kirin 9000s. So this is a pretty interesting story for the Kirin 9000s. Someone said that Kirin 9000s is an old chip 3 years ago, but it's actually not possible. The chip is not possible. Someone said it's 3 years old. It's from 2020, but it's not possible because one of the core in the Kirin 9000s is born in 2021, I think. So it is impossible to say it is a chip from 2020. And the Kirin 9000, if you don't know, it's a 8-core, 12 threads processor. It's an 8-core, 12 threads. It's not ordinary SOC, which only got physical cores, but the Kirin 9000s got threads. Yes, if you are familiar with PCs, for example, the Intel Pentium 4 got the hyper-threading. For example, in that time we have a dual core but 4 threads CPU. The virtual CPU, or we call it threads, can do some works. For example, we have some tasks for the CPU to process, and some part of the CPU is not utilized, so that they do something called threads and split the CPU into 2 parts, and one part for some stuff and other part for another stuff. Then they can fully utilize the CPU circuit. So right now the Kirin 9000s got the hyper-threading function with 12 threads. As a result, ordinary benchmark softwares cannot accurately reflect the speed of the Kirin 9000s. And I watched some videos in the mainland China. Someone just managed to use all 12 cores to run the benchmark software, for example the Geekbench 5, and they got about 4,200 marks for multi-core score, which is a lot higher than previous benchmarks. 4,200 is pretty high compared with the Kirin 9000, compared with the old chips. Okay, so let me show you. If I run Geekbench 6, okay, just put my phone here and try to run Geekbench 6 and see how good is this SOC. But first of all, I just go to turn on the performance mode. Okay, with performance mode on, I can test the performance of the Mate60 Pro. Okay, it's running. And okay, more about the Kirin 9000s. Someone said the Kirin 9000s is manufactured by a China firm with 7nm technology. However, someone also said that the SOC is made by Huawei themselves, because in some video or in some photos leaking from mainland China, there is a slideshow, and the slide said the Kirin chips are made by Huawei. That is shocking. And I searched through the internet and find an even surprising news. Huawei got to DUV 7nm machine to do their chips. Okay, let me switch to another camera here. Oh. Okay. Okay, let's measure the temperature of the phone as well. Let's see how hot is the phone. Okay, here we go. It's 42.4 degrees Celsius in this area. Turn to the back. It's about 40.9 degrees Celsius. As you can see, the heat is spread equally on the upper part of the phone. Around the camera modules here, the heat goes here. And the heat also transfer or display through the middle frame all the way down to the bottom. (45°). So I'm running Geekbench 6, and you will see the results later, but the results is not final because the software is not final, and right now the Geekbench 6 only able to utilize 8 cores or 8 threads or 8 logical cores, so the results will be affected because the software only utilizing 8 cores, but the Kirins have 12 cores. I'm talking about the logical cores. Okay, from core number 0 to core number 7. However, the big core should be number 11 or something like that. So the Geekbench 6 is not utilizing the big core actually. Okay, about to finish. So let's talk about the everyday use experience. I'm using this Mate60 Pro for quite a long time. I think more than 1 week. I'm happy with this device, except sometimes it's a bit hot, but most of the time the Mate60 Pro is smooth, reliable, and the screen looks great, not the best, but good enough. The camera is pretty good. The image is very sharp, especially the zoom lens is very sharp. I like the zoom macro so much. And the main camera is very good as well. Okay, this is the results for the Geekbench 6, but this is not the final results. Recently I got a couple of updates. About a few days I got another update, and every update improved the performance. The first day I got this phone, I have only about the single core score. I got about 1000 and something, 1060, something like that, and the multi-core score is about 3200. But after one software update, I've got 1300 single core and 3700 multi-core. And today I got another software update, and finally I got the multi-core score of 3800. The scores are improving over time. The software is improving. This score is better than the Kirin 9000 or the Kirin 990, and also better than the Snapdragon 888. If 12 flats can be utilized, I think the score may matching the Snapdragon 8 Gen 1, or maybe even faster than the Gen 1 SOC. So, yeah, one thing I forget to mention is the legwork. A lot of people asking if this is a 5G phone, and I can tell you that that is a 5G phone, and someone even said that is a 5.5G phone, because there are a lot of speed tests in the mainland China, and they reach something like 1000 megabit per second download, or even faster. Someone even reaching 2600 megabit per second download. That is definitely not ordinary 5G. Take note that the 5G in mainland China or Hong Kong is running at sub-6 channels only, not running in wave. So the speed is a lot slower than wave, but we've got 2600 megabit per second download with the sub-6 brain, so that someone think, oh, this is a 5.5G phone, or we call it 5G advanced. But who knows? Only Huawei know that right now. So all we have to do is wait until the 25th of September. 25th of September, Huawei will tell us if that is a 5.5G phone, but definitely it's running faster than 5G right now. So let me just turn off the performance mode, go back to the screen here. Okay, let's talk about the battery life. The battery life for this Mate60 Pro is fine. I can say it's fine. Not excellent, but good enough. better than some flagships, but not as good as the other ones. Some flagships with the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 with a huge 5000 mAh batteries performs better than this one. However, this Mate 60 Pro performs better than some 8 Plus Gen 1 SOC. In my daily use, I can have about 25 to 30% of battery after a day of use. So I think it's acceptable. Not very good, but acceptable. It's much better than those Snapdragon 888 phone that runs very hard in summer day or even in cooler day, and this one is much better. Not as hot as the Snapdragon 888 or even cooler than those running Snapdragon 8 Gen 1. This is my experience. However, if you used to use Huawei phones, the Huawei phones is not good at playing games, not good for gaming. You can play games, however, it's not that great for games, but very good for everyday use, very good for photos, very good for social media, and very good for some office stuff, working stuff. Okay, and finally, let me show you something. If you have using Huawei Mate series, for example Mate 40 or Mate 30, you can use air gestures. For example, you can use your hand to capture the screen. Okay, let me just use another camera. Okay. Let me just zoom out. Great. You can capture the screen with air gesture. Okay, it's working now. Or you can use the air gesture to scroll through a list, a website, or photo album. Air gesture, you can do all this gesture to control your phone without even touching that. The air gesture is great. You can do your gestures continuously. So air gesture, pretty nice to use, especially if you are eating. When you are enjoying your French fries, use the air gesture to scroll through your photo album. Okay, so look at the comments here. Okay, a lot of people from China and Hong Kong. But I think this video is good for other people who do not understand Chinese. Maybe later I share this video to others, to the Huawei fans club. Okay, finally, the Mate series also works with pen. Okay, I have my M Pen 2 here, which works for Mate60 Pro. You can just plug it to the USB Type-C port, and your M Pen 2 will be connected to the phone, and you can use it to write something, to jot notes, or even use the pen to draw something. So I have my M Pen, and I can write something here. Write something. Yep. So this is the end of this live section. Hopefully I can somehow edit my video today. I mean the one I take in the afternoon, the huge video files. I hope that I can somehow to open that or to edit that in my computer, and I will upload this video and let you guys see how good the Mate60 Pro video quality. Yeah, pretty smooth. So that's it. A lot of comments here, but most of them are in Chinese, so I will reply to all you guys speaking Chinese later. So that's the end of today's live section. See you in the next time.